Well, in Egypt, the story was, and you can go to any good reference work on Egypt and look up the word Ark of the Contract. The Egyptians had an ark, which they carried with two poles, and they had two angels with wings bent over on the top of it, the mercy seat. The whole thing is an Egyptian story. This is why Steven Spielberg, who incidentally is a lot of things, but stupid isn't one of them, he has in his movie, Indiana Jones Searching for the Lost Ark of the Covenant, where does Indiana Jones go first? Because here's the one guy who could find the lost ark of anyone. And that's who the U.S. government goes to, because they know if anybody can find it, he can. Okay? So where is the first place he goes to look for the lost ark of
Egypt? Tibet.
No, Tibet.
Well, that's where the Nazis came up with the swastika, which is actually an inverted peace symbol.
Of course.
If you go back to Babylon, the ancient gates to Babylon are actually still in Berlin, and it actually is the gates to the museum in Berlin.
That's exactly right. And Berlin has been... The Germans are taken with the idea of Babylon. The Germans love that subject of Babylon, while the British are heavy into Egypt for some reason. And in England, everything is Egyptian. Go to all the museums and the British Museum, everything is Egyptian. The British were really involved with researching Egypt, while the Germans, on the other hand, were far more interested in Babylon. And
the entire Nazi philosophy, it was
based
pagan, on symbolic.
All
of it was
occultism coming directly out of Babylon. And Babylon, incidentally, is what we call Iraq today.
Yeah,
so the Germans,
the Tigers and Euphrates, back
that's
to
right.
the rivers.
That's exactly right. And so that's why Adolf Hitler and the Nazis were very interested in Iraq. And I would suggest that you better look at the whole idea of Iraq being ancient Babylon would explain why the United States is in Iraq. It's because Iraq was ancient Babylon, and that the Germans were very interested in Babylon. Well, if you're talking about the Germans, now you're talking about the Nazis. Well, if you're talking about the Nazis, then you're talking about the Nazis in the U.S. government.
Well, that's under Paperclip, where they were all brought here legally.
Operation Paperclip. And when all of the top Nazis were brought to America, all the top scientists, theoreticians, all the best minds in Germany were immediately gotten out of Germany when the war was over, and they knew they were losing. Just before they declared the end of the war, the Germans were getting out of Germany. They figured they better because the Russians are coming, and they're going to kill everybody. The Germans wanted out of Germany as quick as possible. Since the war is over and they've lost, you better get out of town because the Russians are coming. So what did they do? They wanted to get out of Germany, but the powers that be on this planet were not interested in all Germans. The working class Germans let them die, but the guys who are really smart, the theoreticians, the scientists, the physicists, the rocketeers, or the rocket engineers, those people who got good minds, you better save them. You can use those guys. So they got all of the real brains out of Germany quickly before the Russians came in. Now, how did they do that? They did that with the Vatican. The Vatican, the Holy Father and the Vatican, provided false passports, new identification, money, and safe passage for all the top Nazis coming out of Nazi Germany quickly, to get them out quick. So it was called the Vatican Rat Line, R-A-T, Rat Line. Look it up in any good reference work, and you'll see the Vatican provided safe passage, new passports, new identification, falsified passports, and money, and also safe passage to all Vatican-held territories like South America, Central America.
Well, that's the boys from Brazil.
Like the boys from Brazil. That's it. And so, but those guys, those Germans, ended up in America and became known today as the Republican Party. Today, the Republican Party that we talk about in America today is actually a Nazi operation. That is a fact. You can go back and see the people who are running the Republican Party. Look at the names of the people who are the financiers of the Republican Party. Look at the names of the guys who are the theoreticians for the Republican Party, and their names are all connected to the old Nazi regime. So the Nazis, when they brought those German Nazis into this country in 1947, 48, and 49, under Operation Paperclip, they were bringing into this country extraordinarily brilliant people. These German Nazis were not stupid. They knew exactly how to walk the walk and talk the talk. They put on the Hawaiian shirts. And
Plum Island, which is the secret test base off of Montauk, which is scientists from Paperclip that actually formed it. And that's where all
incredible stuff.
Human, animal, germ warfare, top secret island. You can't get there, general public. It's controlled by Homeland Security.
Where exactly is Plum Island?
Plum Island's a little island off the coast of Montauk, at the tip of Long Island.